well today, so let's see.
Technology.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the TASG Watch Party Tuesday featuring Moon Knight. And we are getting ready for Moon Knight Episode 3, dropping in about 5 minutes tonight. We are joined with Timothy Wilkins. What's up, fam?
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing? I'm walking there. I was like, what am I talking about? Welcome everybody to the live stream. I know yesterday my bowels ended the stream early, and I do apologize, but I am feeling much better today. We are streaming live on YouTube and Facebook Live, which I forgot to take a look at our the streaming platform for that one. See, nothing goes right in these streams, and I'm perfectly fine by that. Uh, That's a new link. I've never seen that in my entire life before. It says support the stream, streamlabs.com/TASG vlogs. I don't go by that as much anymore. I'm now more on the live stream side, but, it is what it is. Last episode was a pretty damn good one. We were introduced. So, if Mark Spector is to Moon Knight, Stephen Grant is to Mr. Knight. And that was a lot of fun. Quite the fun time, but in the end, Mark Spector Moon Knight reigns supreme. And so now what happens is that Stephen Grant is now trapped in this mirror. And what happens next? We will find out in just a few moments. So far, 2 episodes, Tim. What are your thoughts so far from last episode?
I think there was a lot of character development in the last episode, and I think that was just like a building block to it. And I feel like as the episodes keep on going on, because there's like about 6 or 7 episodes in this series, and I feel like once it gets to um, the rising action happens and everything too, once we hit that climax, I feel like it's all going to come down to a head, just like how it did with uh, Book of Boba Fett and everything
Right.
too, because it was all like these building steps and everything too, and that's what I feel like is good about this. Is that there's always been so much character development. I'm kind of worried it's either going to go into two ways. Either there's going to be way more character development, or there's going to be some kind of like crisis that happens with our main character here, and they have to go work through that. And then when it doesn't get resolved until the climax happens. So, yeah, I'm keeping an open mind and looking forward to start episode 3.
And in terms of crisis, yeah, this is basically his own crisis that he's uh, dealing with. How to, and the crisis in question is the his handling of his DID. We briefly spoke on this about it. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to market this one. I forgot to market to Instagram. Live now, link in bio. And I'm getting to link sticker. But yeah, we went into a little bit into the um, what it meant for mental health representation and if it was being accurately represented. There was a little bit of that sort of a disconnect about that and how accurate it can be and how accurate a show wants to portray those characters. So um, let's briefly go on that. What are your
When it
thoughts on
comes
it?
to yeah, when it comes to like mental health and stuff like that, I think it's a little bit more easier for us to actually see that through like a film or TV show. Now that we have like all this technology with us and everything too, and we're able to zoom in on characters' faces and see what they and we can kind of think about what they're thinking, and then something happens and they completely change their action. But when it comes to mental health, it's there's just so few actors and few performers in this world who can actually turn off that side of their brain when everything has to be physically, and then you can just look at them and like, oh my god, they're actually going through their mental state, or they're going into a state where their mental health is just shows you just what they're going through. And of some of these characters, the reason and even in real life, when we think of mental health, we think of mental health breakdowns. And seeing that happen, or seeing like in this case, what happened in the last episode where um, Stephen Grant almost had like a mental breakdown,
Mm-hmm.
and just thinking about like what kind of acting training he had to go through to do that, or what kind of like energy did he pull that from? Because I mean, like I myself, I've been there and in real life, and being having to expose myself to just let everyone in and show just how mental health is so crazy and everything too. It's just one of those things that you never see coming.
Right.
But the way that they're doing it here is very curious because I never thought about the way that they're doing it in this ever happening in the next like 5-10 years at all, or even in our lifetime.
In terms of the representation.
Yeah, in terms of the representation, because I know there's other ways of doing it from a live perspective when you go to see a live show, or you see it on the field of like a football state on a football player or stuff like that. But have it from a Disney point of view, that's a new perspective of what Disney Entertainment is all about nowadays.
Well, all right. Great insight. Thank you for that. Episode 3 is now up. The Friendly Type 52-minute episode with Mark in the forefront and the hero ahead. Mark and Layla navigate Cairo for intel. We got the group watch set up a few minutes ago, and we should be good to go. I'm going to pop in an ear for that, and let's get this party started. This is Moon Knight, Episode 3, The Friendly Type. Tim, you ready?
I say let's start the video,
Here we
or
go.
in this case, start the episode.
Honshu, let me tell you, that's a great design.
Very, very sort of like an old god type. Like that's what I kind of was thinking what the Egyptians were
Yeah.
thinking of.
Roger on YouTube, welcome back to the stream, fam. Haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for joining us. We are current. Oh, I accidentally jumped it. Darn, that's my bad. Minute 4. Minute 4. For those of you just joining us, we are 1 minute 44 seconds in. Episode 3, The Friendly Type. Thank you so much, fam. I mean, you subscribe to Roger Garcia, y'all. Roger surpassed me in not even a year. I mean, like, man, numbers, putting up numbers. Although he's got a niche with stocks. Go check him out. Sounds like holes right there.
Definitely.
Ooh. Ooh. Got rhythm on that one. Okay.
Definitely got a good vibe to it.
It has.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like sets the setting there. I love it. I love it.
And I think this is exactly what Black Panther did, Shang-Chi, um, even Endgame set the tone with a different music choice than the Marvel theme. I was like, it's really good. It's a nice change. This looks like Star Wars in the background, like where Ray
Fusion.
jumped
Yeah,
over did the backflip in Rise of Skywalker.
yeah, yeah. They may have actually gone to the same location actually too, or use a different backdrop, and then this is like the other side of what it looks like probably too, because this doesn't look fake at all. This looks really realistic.
I mean, we've seen the Mandalorian do their thing in the volume, so that could be the same thing here.
Yep.
That being said, Rise of Skywalker, we got Poe Dameron. We just saw him like shirt off. No, like as if he's like sweaty and hot, but then all of a sudden he's got a full on fit.
Makes you wonder how much time has really passed.
Or how hot it is. Whoa, whoa, whoa! That was pretty good cinematography on that one, man. And this is already reminding me of a choreographed fight scene at I think the finale of Book of Boba Fett.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Ooh, oh that's got to be the reference to the SNL. I don't know if you watch it, but the Saturday Night Live monologue that he licked it. It's
Yeah,
like
it's like
I
yeah,
understood that. Ah, ha, ha.
I understood that too. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Life imitates art, or art imitates life. Oh, that's fine. Whoa,
Whoa, that's trippy.
wait, wait. You got some audio leaking in the back. Wait, so did he briefly succumb to Steven?
Whoa, he skipped ahead. Then looks like he skipped ahead in life because they recognize him.
No, because those are the guys on the
Or no,
roof.
yeah. Well,
But then,
wait a
like,
minute. Oh, he's going back in time.
remember, Harrow has the scarab. and wakes up in another place, right?
Oh,
Who?
whoa.
Whoa, wait. Whoa. Who is there a third person involved in the
Alright.
trifold? I don't know.
This is really trippy.
Who's controlling Mark? I just love he's just chilling there.
It's Ahmet again, isn't that like the god of chaos or something like that?
Amit is a beast associated with the time of judgment. So basically,
Oh, yeah.
something
Yeah,
like
I
that.
remember that.
Yeah. At least a simple Google search or something. For those of you just joining us tonight, we are 11 minutes 12 seconds live on YouTube and Facebook Live. Ooh,
An eclipse?
that's a very fast eclipse. These we are now entering, or is this? Would this be entering the pyramids or just catacombs? Because I heard about it and I remember how cool these. They are in the pyramid. Oh wow, this is some national treasure looking type stuff. But I thought,
Very much so.
wow, Whoa. Whoa. So what happens to the physical embodiment of Khonshu?
Like being a host avatar, you mean?
Yeah, like, well, because this is just an avatar. So hold on, I'm, huh? Oh,
Whoa.
for those of you just joining us, we are 17 minutes in for a 52-minute episode. Is he speaking on behalf of Stephen Grant?
I think they're using Stephen Grant. I think they're using their host avatars as a way to communicate with each other because I guess they can't show their true forms because each avatar is able to limit their control
Right.
of the gods taking over themselves. Because if the god took over a human body, they could eventually like destroy their own host and be like a mindless human being. Like the power might would be too great.
Yeah.
It's like yeah, they talked about this a lot in the Kane series actually too. In between, it goes into a lot of detail in the first book about it.
If I don't think, if Rick Riordan decides to make a series on that, that's most likely going to mirror Moon Knight a lot. But if let's just hope the that Percy Jackson series does well enough to, because like the that man is a great author, and all those stories deserve to be shown on Disney Plus, and they would make great series.
But Hollywood clear. Did you see that they announced who was playing Percy Jackson?
Yep, the
Yeah,
kid from the Atom Project.
yeah, and I heard and I heard that he did pretty well in that movie, right?
Oh, he did
Because I
great.
remember, yeah. So it's yeah, because I remember watching. Yeah. Oh, what am I talking about? Yeah, I saw that movie. What am I thinking? That is right. Venus. Heck.
Ooh,
Oh, Senfu. Oh,
I
Senfu,
think I
Senfu.
could have
I forgot
sworn
that
I
name.
did a thing. I did a thing on this on that guy, like a little essay back in elementary school, back in the day.
Yeah, I think I remember I did that in like fifth or sixth grade when I
Yeah,
was learning about that.
it's like wow, that brought me back. It's everybody else.
It's interesting seeing the parallels of past Egypt and this new modern Egypt, and just seeing just how much has changed in the last 1,000 years.
Right? This is also something that's very rarely seen in media, an accurate representation of what the city looks like today rather than just showing arid desert sands and whatnot.
Yeah, like they
A
like
highlight
they
of the
shouldn't.
nightlife, too.
Yeah, I mean, I've only seen like parts of this in like some other movies that are somewhat realistic, like the Zero Dark 30 movie. When that came out, I actually did some back and forth going back to certain scenes about where they're filming in places like Dubai and everything too.
Hmm.
And I'm looking at that, and I look back and everything. It's actually some of it is actually pretty realistic.
And they're very grand, too.
hmm It's like everything's grander over there in the safe parts of the Middle East and like this parts, and I'm wondering, I'm just wondering like
It is
why,
great representation of that
yeah,
culture.
yeah, yeah, and like this is what I feel like a lot of us don't really get to see a lot because we have been always told of something else, what life is all about over there, and seeing it for the seeing it like this though makes me question: did I not do my own research right, or did I just believe everything I was told?
That. Yes. Like, that's a great point right there. Like, was I taught well enough to know the truth about what this city is nowadays? For those of you just joining us, 24 minutes, 24 minutes into the episode. Oh, who are you?
Definitely not pirates. Or they could be pirates.
True. Oh, we got going on here.
That reminds me of like medieval jousting almost.
Yeah. Back? Whoa. We got a back? Excuse me? I'm sorry. For my folks out there who don't know, Rise of the Resistance fans, Lieutenant Beck here at 26 minutes.
Is it spelled the same too?
BEK.
Yeah, it is spelled the same. This should be good.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, he's using the stars
Ooh,
to
it's
make
a
a map.
map.
Oh no.
Ooh,
Oh, whoosh.
they caught up.
Oh, right. Oh, crap. Oh, crap.
This guy's got leverage. Serious leverage.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh, just can't kill him.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh god.
You could easily do this in the Doctor Strange area of Avengers
Oh,
Campus.
he did
I
not
was
just
like,
destroy the only clue. Did he just destroy the only clue?
yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Ooh. There's the moon.
Oh jeez. Dang.
Whoa.
Oh, bulletproof?
What?
Oh, what?
It's a shield? That's crazy, man. At 32:55. Ooh.
Oh, glass. Oh boy.
Hey, at least it's not like crushing and walking on it.
Yeah, that's true. Just stab Senfu back. He's already dead.
You really got to make sure that he's dead, though, because
Yeah,
I mean, who knows?
because
That's how Palpatine lives.
I,
Got to
yeah.
make
This is
sure
like
they're dead.
yeah, it's
Let's
like the
go.
mummy all over again.
Is he succumbing? Is he succumbing? Oh, wow. So is that the only way that he can? Oh, oh,
Oh, oh,
oh my God.
oh,
Jeez.
oh my!
And he's doing it again.
Oh,
He's still getting it. It reminds me, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, where I think that
yes.
where he's just the arrow goes through the knee. He screams towards it, goes to the other knee, screams towards it. Ah, that's funny.
Oh,
We're at 34 minutes 42 seconds.
why does Layla remind me of so much of that cat goddess, Ballas, or something like that? That is a servant of one of the cat gods. That's it.
Moon Knight Mark here is immortal. Ooh. Wow. Wow. That's what matters, the jacket? So it's back to Mark now, right?
Yes, because Mark has been that darker Moon Knight, and then Steven is the lighter white, all white one.
Mr. Knight.
Mr. Knight, yeah. So there's Moon Knight, and then there's Mr. Knight, yeah.
But how did he regain control? Oh no, because he has to. I'm overthinking
Yeah,
it today.
uh, but we have a right to know that too.
Yeah.
We have a right to know how it works like that too, as well. Oh, they're being followed again.
If you're just joining us, we are 37, 38, 37, 38, and my network starts to drop. Thanks, Spectrum. Yeah, we do. Where you at, fam? I'm kidding. Put me in, coach. Oh, and that's it. That's all it took.
That's true because they use the stars and everything too. It all takes back to like sailing in back in the day, especially during the 1700s and everything too.
Yeah.
How about that? A star for the stars.
Oh, you put it through the light. Well, you're lucky.
Just starts drifting away.
And all of a sudden, the Watcher's there. Hey, Watcher, why didn't you come help? Oh, bro. Come on,
Oh
fam.
no.
Is he gonna light it up? I got you, fam. I'm kidding.
Oh gosh.
Whoa.
Whoa! Oh, this brings me back to the observatory. The what is it? The Griffith Observatory,
Yeah.
and they have that little show and everything too. And you're in that dome, and they do that little going into the stars and everything too. Oh my god, this so much. This really reminds me of that.
Would you consider this time
Oh
travel though?
no, I would say it's more of like for the nighttime sky, yes, but for everything around,
Because everybody's just looking at what's going on. This is more like what happened with Spider Verse, Spider Man.
no way home, right?
Yeah, No Way Home. Like when the skies start cracking all around. Did anybody
Yeah.
else see that other outside of Doctor Strange and those affected? But yo, whoa, damn,
You don't think?
wow.
Okay.
They got Khonshu.
Hmm.
Whew. Okay. Thoughts on the episode?
I give it 2 thumbs up. It definitely, I definitely like the Egyptian vibes that we got from it too, and seeing all the other gods and their own avatars. It made me feel like more connected with the main character.
More in line with the. Yeah, it's like I highly agree with that. Um,
Is it? Yeah.
the lore attached to uh, the I almost said Greeks. What am I talking about? Egyptian gods and goddesses, um, and yeah, like I really find it interesting that they are still alive in with their avatars. But then it's also interesting to see that Khonshu has a being, but then it is also attached with an avatar that is Mark Spector Stephen Grant. And I'd say that one other thing that needs to be addressed is um, there's a brief moment where Stephen gave up, or Mark gave up to Stephen, and Stephen gave it back to Mark, and I was like, how is he able to do that? Or
Yeah.
right, like
Yeah, it's like can you do it on command or can you only do it for no time? It's like almost like that fight or flight moment, you know?
right. So I find it just very interesting to see how seeing how that's portrayed. I know there was like important moments where they had to, like, especially when they were trying to find the not the temple. They kind of like, lack of a better term, temple. No,
Mm-hmm. Like
why did
the
I?
where they
Why am I blanking out on the
wait,
word?
sarcophagus?
Yeah, of
Is
Senfu.
that?
They looked
Yeah, yeah.
inside. They did the map, but it's like a whole bunch of stuff. Like I'll be honest, like there's a lot of things that I found distracting with this episode. Um, like we had a lot of side tangents about the Egyptian lore about it that um, to be honest, I kind of lost track in this one, which is going to affect my out of 10, by the way, for this one. But yeah, like the action and the tension is just it's pretty much there, and especially now that Khonshu is now in stone, it's going to be interesting to see will Mark Spector be able to avenge him. What do you think?
I would say about the same there too as well. Plus, I can feel the tension like growing more in this episode. Like it's on the rise now, and I don't know what you said with trying to get a little confused about but the Egyptian gods and everything too.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but like in its own way, it is interesting on how they're using that to fill in plot holes and everything too. And I mean, just look at Rick Riordan's books and everything too. They had like a lot of Egyptian gods to fill in
Well,
his
remember
plot
those
holes
books
and
are
everything too.
also
Yeah,
based in their own fiction, but there's
yeah,
still
but
the main thing with like the that part of the Egyptian lore, the Egyptian
mm-hmm,
gods and everything is a huge basis for it.
mm-hmm.
And there's like some parallels to it as well.
Yeah, and not only sometimes there are parallels, but like I've also done my own research on Egyptian just lore and everything, even based stuff that based off of real stories left behind. When you read about all the Egyptian lifestyles and everything too back in the day and what they believed in, and how there's always those stories of the Egyptian mythology. And I'm kind of wondering if further on in this series, if they're going to explore more into that, or if there's going to be just more fiction involved with that too, with some Egyptian mythology that was taught a lot about in like the schools and high schools and all the classes that we took it back in the day and everything. Like, are they going to still be like using the same kinds of stories that we learned about, or we learn on our own? And taking like a
Right.
history class, yeah. I'm curious. I'm curious. I feel like that's what the major confusion part is. I hope they may explain it in more detail in the next episode. So, but for this episode, I would give it a solid like 6.9 to a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Wow. Now,
Yeah, because for me, what really drove me to it is seeing the correlation between like how they did all the, I wouldn't say just the fight scenes, but I would just say like just seeing it all come together in one spot. Like there's some things that could have been done better, but what I feel like was
right.
very good was just how each actor and everything correlate with each other and how they were all related to each other, and we just had like almost like this kind of like relationship with each other. Like you can clearly tell who the villain is, you can clearly tell who the hero is, but our hero is not necessarily um, a good hero, but he's like almost got this like Dark Knight persona,
An anti-hero.
an anti-hero, but trying to do the best for the world. And it's kind of like one of those things like you have to make certain sacrifices and do make deals with the devil in order to save millions of lives.
Yeah, I highly
So
agree.
that
It for me, it's just a matter of direction.
mm-hmm,
It's interesting to see where this is going, and especially right near now. Uh, this is episode 3. This is a
mm-hmm.
halfway point of the season, and for the first time, I'm feeling lost. But I think that's probably going to be managed through a second watch through that I'll probably do sometime in the middle of the week, or even right now, even after this live stream ends. I'd say a second rewatch will be necessary to uh, notice what's going on. It's just I'd say we were distracted in a lot of the lower parts of Egyptian gods and goddesses and everything of the such, and so
I agree
I
with
just
like
personally felt distracted, and as a result, you mentioned a 7.0, and you're talking about how everything was put together in a way. For
yeah.
me, I'm going to have to rate it a little bit lower. This feels like the first filler episode in a 6 episode season. 1 out of 6 is a little bit tough. I think that's 20%, roughly 20% of your episode count. So as a result, I am going to give it a 6 out of 10 because for the first time ever, I am lost in a series.
Yeah.
So I'll do a rewatch of it, but for now, it's going to be interesting to see where things go, how it like if they find a tomb, and if Khonshu gets avenged. So we'll see what happens. Any closing thoughts, Tim?
I would highly recommend like even though this is kind of like the Egyptian mythology and all that to in the Egyptian lore though, I feel like if I knew more about Egyptian mythology, maybe I wouldn't as get in lore, like in all those stories that you don't even hear about in like high school, but done like your own research and everything too, done like your own history homework and everything. I feel like you and I would not have been as sort of lost as we are, but at the same time, it's like you said, like maybe we just have to rewatch it and go back
If
and
there's anything that
yeah,
explains it, because
a very big
especially for a
no.
lot of us, like we've focused on the main Marvel core of the Avengers, and there
Mm,
have been new additions to it, including Shang Chi, that we didn't know a lot about going in, but we had dashes sprinkled around. This is truly the only one that we haven't really known so far. Before we go, like I keep forgetting to do this every week. Let's go into the tweets right now. Um, and Patrick Dougal tweets, I'm loving how Moon Knight seems so disconnected from the rest of the MCU. It's actually refreshing. As refreshing as it is, context, please, because there's a lot of us too familiar with, uh, who aren't familiar with Egyptian lore. And seeing this completely stray away from what we thought, at least, so far, um, was just interesting.
I think also what's interesting for me as someone who is so involved with theater and I've grown up with theater all my
Mm-hmm.
life and everything too. Maybe it's the mystery behind it. Like, how is it going to end? How is it going to be going on? That's what's driving me. But I also feel like, how can I use that and understand what's happening after watching this for the first time? Like, sometimes you have to rewatch something to gather your thoughts, and you feel like, oh, I felt like this when this happened, or I have to like that when this happened. Because at this point right now, whatever happens from this point on is like a total mystery for us. And there's a part of me who's excited about that, and there's a part of me who's just a little worried. It's like, is this going to be a flop from here on out, or is it going to be something else that's going to happen that makes me turn our heads 180 or change us upside down, you know?
Right. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. Again, this is gonna. We're now heading into the back half of this season. What if any are your expectations, or did this episode really throw you off, as it threw me off?
It, it actually made me think about more questions than give me answers
Yes.
in this one. So I would definitely say there are some parts of
To
me
be
that can agree
determined.
with you that are TBD, and also like in a way, yeah, I can understand like why you would think this is a filter episode and everything too. And I'm sort of leading
I
in that
tried
path as
avoiding the F
well.
word, but this was, in a
Yeah,
way, kind of
yeah,
filler. But
kind of a filler, but like there's
like at
other
least
things
half
at
of the
play.
episode.
Yeah,
At a
yeah,
runtime,
at
if
least half, not the full episode. Yeah.
not the full episode, but at least half. Speaking of runtime, this episode was 52 minutes long. Since we're discussing on that topic um, of that, like, do you think this could have been a shorter episode?
I think so. And plus, like the beginning part, I was like, I understood what Layla was doing. It was flying into Cairo and everything too. But I feel like that part of it could have been cut, and there'd be a little bit more explanation of, like, I know why Stephen slash Mark was chasing down those three individuals beforehand, but I really want to know, like, how in the world was it able to go into like three different like it's like he moved from one place to another, and then next thing you know he's at another place, and like
And
it's like
that
in the
was
first part,
the
yeah,
discussion of how he's able to, how or when he has control, like which person has control, aka uh, when does he become Steven? When does he become Mark? When does he become Mr. Knight? When does he become Moon Knight? So it's that discussion of going back and forth that really drives the point home, which hasn't really been too much, but sometimes he's reluctantly given control away from either one of the knights or Spectre or one, and we just saw that early on in the episode. But still, that is a very valid question that still needs to be addressed. And if there's anything that we need to do to rewatch this at some point before next week's episode, we will, and that'll be probably an adjustment on our rating system. But for now, at least, this again, as you mentioned, more questions than answers. We are approaching 1 a.m. on the West Coast. As we wrap things up, I just want to say thank you for joining us tonight. Roger for joining us in the chat. And those of you on Facebook Live, thank you all for joining us. Tim, thanks for joining, fam.
hey, you're welcome. You're welcome. Always a pleasure to be here for a second week in a row. I'm hoping
Second
for
week in a
growth going
row.
great.
It's great because no Jensen, no Heather, and of course no Steven at the moment, but hopefully he'll join us for Kenobi in May.
Ooh,
Hopefully,
yeah, I
knock on
am.
wood.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm actually knocking on wood right now, actually, because I'm at wooden desk and everything too. But I'm actually pretty excited with that Kenobi series because I'm kind of wondering if it's gonna follow the path a little bit when he's on Tatooine and doing all
Ooh,
that.
yes.
If he's gonna be following the book of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm not sure if you ever read that, but
I
I remember reading
should.
that.
I need to.
Yeah, I remember reading that about that. And there's like a part of the book that talks about watching over Luke Skywalker growing up during that 20 years, almost like what 16 to 20 years he's on Tatooine and everything too like that too. So I'm kind of wondering what because what I've been seeing with the trailer, it kind of talks about like the first like 5 to like 7 years, so like that first decade that he's actually on Tatooine, and I'm kind of wondering, and I'm kind of curious on where that story is gonna go. But
Same.
yeah, but that's not another for another month now.
Not
So
for another month, but I do want to make a quick announcement. Uh, because they shifted it to a Thursday night at midnight slash Friday release. For us here at Moon Knight, we are Wednesdays. We run Wednesdays all the way down, or the release is on Wednesday. We go live 10 minutes before it drops. Tuesday 11:45. 5 minutes of a recap from the week prior, and then we watch the episode and do a post show here. But here's the thing with the first episodes, because 2 episodes will be dropping for Kenobi. Um, it is confirmed that me, Jensen, and Heather will be heading over to Star Wars Celebration Anaheim at the Anaheim Convention Center. Um, I don't know. Are you going to Star Wars Celebration? Are you planning on it?
uh, I don't I don't think so because I also got other family in town too because I'm also
Oh,
graduating
that's
college
right.
that week that week too. So, but because I just have like a bunch of family members just popping in and out probably throughout
The
that
next month or
weekend
so.
too as well. Yeah, next month or so because it's going to be gigantic because the next couple of months from that here on out are now going to be busy for both you and I, but
Right.
also just for me for other personal stuff going on in my life too as well. But any chance I can get to have like these top be part of these live streams and everything is definitely a break from reality that I love to enjoy.
So yeah, that's our biggest announcement so far is that me, Jensen, and Heather will be going to Star Wars Celebration. That is going to be vlogged, vlogged not streamed, in May. That entire weekend, May 26th to May 29th, will be there Thursday through Sunday. So here's a plan for Kenobi as details come out. Um, Kenobi's releasing on Friday now, which means a Thursday night live stream. In the event that we do get a screening at Star Wars Celebration, we will have post show reactions, just like what we did for Spider Man No Way Home. In the event that it's done on the Saturday, so this is what happened. Like, there's multiple things that's going in my head right now. Um, there is a Kenobi panel, Star Wars Celebration. I think Friday or Saturday. If the panel and we go and if we get to it, if we go to the panel on that Friday, we will not have a Thursday night live stream. I'm sorry, no, we will have a Thursday night live stream. Um, Depends. There's a lot of things. Excuse me. Multiple factors that depend on it, but it could be either a Thursday night live stream or a Friday morning while we're at the convention live stream, and that would be our reactions for episodes 1 and 2. Remember, 2 episodes drop that day. More information is going to come out as it does, but we will let you know. And Tim, we hope to have you for the most part of the season of the series for Kenobi. That's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm excited for it. I've always been a big Star Wars fan, growing up watching the Star Wars Clone Wars series, and then seeing the final season back in May of 2020 on Disney Plus, and now going into more Star Wars lore when it's talking about episodes like this. I'm excited for that.
Absolutely.
Definitely looking forward to seeing what other things have been going on, and during the time that Obi-Wan when Kenobi was on that planet for all those years.
It's gonna be
So it should be
interesting. I just hope that the fandom doesn't bully Baby Luke, because like that
yeah.
was like, you did the stuff to Anakin, to Jake Lloyd. You see what happens to that, and that. that shit ruins their lives. So we're gonna try. We will give the utmost respect to these actors. They very much deserve it. So yeah. But this is Moon Knight on a Tuesday in April. We are just a little over a month, a little over a week away from the returns of the nighttime spectaculars at Disneyland Resort. Main Street Electrical Parade and World of Color will both be returning on April 22nd. Fantastic May 28th. If you got a reservation for that, do it. Do it. Book those reservations today. Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Alrighty, Tim. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night, everybody. We will see you guys next week. Feel free to like and subscribe on YouTube or follow us on Facebook. Not really. The Facebook ones are more for the close friends, the 800 or so that I've made over the years. Anyways, good night, everyone. Have a happy Wednesday.